and we actually start in 1 minute before our regularly scheduled time, 5:59 p.m. here in the East Coast. It's warm. It's 88 degrees, or feel like 88 degrees, however you want to look at it. It's warm, a little humid, like every other humid day during the summer. I mean, you just got to peel those clothes off at the end of the day, man. It's the only way they'll come off. Yeah. Well, so a lot of what's going on for the weekend? What's going on today? What's the news for today? Well, it's a lot of repeat stuff. I mean, I've looked through a lot of feeds today, and there's just, I mean, it's like they're making up news from a month ago. I don't know what's going on. A lot of news that's already been out there, news that's already been out there, over and over again. So we got a few things here, but the one thing I do want to mention that I haven't got a headline for, but I was in my normal conversation with Northern California. Supposedly, over the weekend, Virginia, powers that be, whatever, plan on dropping from the air in a I don't know, some kind of spray format or pellets. I don't know exactly which one, for rabies. So, have you ever heard of this before? I mean, somebody would actually come out and tell somebody else that, yeah, they're going to drop pellets or spray rabies, uh, whatever, I didn't know that rabies was curable to begin with. I know that if you get bit by something that has rabies, I know you got to go through very painful process of needle or some kind of injections. Maybe Lyme disease that I'm thinking of that's incurable. I don't know about rabies. But in any case, that's what's going to go on in Virginia over the weekend. Very strange. All right, give me 1 sec. I'm going to see if got a live feed over at YouTube, and that's going. And it is. Yeah, we have volume and everything. Look at that. Okay, what else we got? I'm not going to be able to show you. Yeah. December 21st, December 21st of this year. For some reason, it's a date that's been given. Right now, it's only been given by one person. I've heard about rumors of, other things happening in December. One of them being, and I do have an article here that states that Trump is going to request a permanent reauthorization of the NSA mass spying program. Remember the one that was exposed by Snowden? Well, Trump is going to request permanent spying. He's also did about face on a couple things, okay? Gun control. Now he's, talking about these red flag, I don't know what you call it, parameters in the getting a gun. And he mentions in a tweet, and it was funny because I saw it. He mentioned in a tweet, and I mean, I don't know how. Anyways, President of the United States. I thought Obama, when he was president, carrying around a cell phone all the time was unprecedented. But having a president now just go out there, I mean, I love it. It's great. Sometimes he's going to get himself into trouble with things he says, but I like the fact that he just speaks right off the cuff, right out in the open. I think that's a good idea. And he tweeted about these this red flag, these parameters that they're going to That's the ones that they want to come out with. If somebody has a temper, or they find out that this person has a temper and somebody else, and somebody knows that he has a gun, they can just call up the police and they can come and get that gun from that guy just because he has a temper. Not that he's, gone off recently or anything, just a rumored temper, just by one person. And then the police, I think it's 14 days. They can take that gun away, and for 14 days before the person, well, they have to file some kind of papers to get it back. That's the type of red laws that they're talking about. If some married couple, just say a married couple, they have guns, okay, for their protection. They have children. And then one night, they start arguing. And, we say some things while we're arguing. We really don't mean them. We're just, upset. And then next thing you know, Alexia is calling in the police. Yeah. Alexia is calling in the police. And then your guns are being taken away. And you're probably going to be arrested. That's a true story. It did happen. Alexia was listening. I think there was a conversation about a gun in the conversation, in the argument, and Alexia called the cops. I threw out my Alexia that my wife got me as a gift, I don't know, a couple of years ago. She bought me that thing, and she was one, what are you going to do? Thank you? Thank you for, getting me a gift that's going to monitor everything we say from now on. How do you say that, right? So obviously she was probably offended. My daughter was offended when she bought me for, I guess, Father's Day or birthday, a DNA test, to check your lineage and all that other stuff. Send it off, She paid a good hunk of change for it too. And when I wasn't, ecstatic and overly, happy and grateful that she got it for me, I tried to explain to her, why I didn't jump up and down for joy. So, they wanted, non-Christians, your household, your family, the unequally yoked that we have around us. They really do think you're strange, and there's good reason. I would definitely think somebody's strange if they get a gift for their birthday or something, and then they go and, well, it's just the DNA cataloging everyone, part of their spying program. Yeah, you'd be considered weird, that's for sure. So anyways, I threw that Alexia away. I mean, she took it for herself and put it next to her bed to wake her up as an alarm. And then she, I don't know, started using another alarm clock for some reason. And I had a chance, and I did it. I took it and I threw it away. And there's all kinds of stories out there about Alexia, and the things that, it's recorded. Just like, a lot of devices in your home. But anyway, we all know that, and it really doesn't matter. I mean, if you're a godly person or trying to be a good, well, nobody can be good, I guess. I keep running into that. Trying to be good anyway. So, anyway, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, trying to be good. Anyway, let's go on to the news. I've been doing that all day. I mean, my memory has really been a problem today. It's one of those days, and I know some people have done it now. Don't lie. Don't lie now. You're a Christian. You get up and start walking into another room in the house or to go do something, and then next thing you know, you don't know what the heck you got up for. Don't tell me it hasn't happened to you. I know it has. It's, these drugs and these poisons and everything else is being put into our systems. It's got to be that. Got to be. I mean, that's why a lot of people are just dormant. And they just try and get, go day by day and get through what they have to get through. And it really is it's a labor. It's really hard. because of those things. But we get through it, and drains us. It drains us. So just with that, you just have to pray to the Lord. Holy Spirit, bring you energy, bring your memory back, because the Holy Spirit says that He, first of all, the Word is already implanted in you. I guess it's a matter of recalling it is the problem. And so that's what the Holy Spirit does. And He does that according to your walk, according to where you are in your refining. So. All right, well, let's get on to some of this news, some of it, it's basic stuff. Towards the end, what else are they talking about out there today? They're talking about Jupiter supposedly is the protector of the outer or inner solar system and has been pummeled by meteorites, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. If you ever listen to him, I think he's called Blue Kool-Aid, and he goes through, I think I mentioned him at least twice before, Blue Kool-Aid YouTube channel. He talks about things that are going on in the sun and the corona mass ejections and all the science behind it, and he does it and breaks it down in layman's terms. Thank God, or else I wouldn't be able to understand it. Does a good job. Actually, almost convinced me that that Nibiru, Planet X, whatever, Planet 9, is here. With the things that he's been showing us as far as influences around the sun, and actually some spheres that have been seen behind the sun or off to the side of the sun. You can't see what's behind the sun, obviously. And that's why it's hard to see, supposedly, because it is coming from the south, behind the sun, and so on and so forth. But that's a discussion for another time. But if you want to see these influences, I've been to other sites that say, oh, yes, here's Nibiru in the sky. You can see it, this little orb. And, next thing, in the next frame, it's like 10 minutes, a click. Next frame is 10 minutes, and the planet's gone. So you mean to tell me that this planet came into view, okay, and out of view in 10 minutes? Got to be going pretty darn fast. And you certainly would think something that close would have a lot more influences on the Earth. Though granted, there's a lot of stuff going on that is being influenced, whether by other celestial things, objects, whatever, beings. Remember, the stars are not the stars angels? Well, that's a question I probably should go and put in Facebook. Are the stars angels? They talk about Roman stars, and those are supposed to be planets. But anyway, that's a talk for another time too. Very interesting stuff. So we'll start off at strange sounds, and we'll talk about some weather. Get to that. Like I said, this Friday, and some of this will be from a day or so ago, and you'll have updates. So 18 inches of hail accumulates and damages crops in Michigan. This was posted today, but I don't think I've heard of this yet. Incredible 18 inches of hail. I did hear, what was it? Was it Michigan today, or was it Missouri? No, it was Montana. We'll get to that in a minute. Montana, Kansas, and Oregon. Something in common about those three today. So after record-breaking hailstones fell from the Colorado sky earlier this week, so this now a snowstorm of ice left staggering amounts of hail accumulations and damage to crops in Michigan. That's a big subject lately, right? Crop damage worldwide. We'll give you a little stat from that later on too, where we are with that. Yeah, all I can say is it's not good. So these large piles of ice may be one of the last things people might expect to see on the ground in mid-August. Oh, absolutely. Really weird weather. I mean, Northern California baking right now, and I haven't really got the temperatures from Southern California, but I get one report every day from Northern California. 104 in the shade today, 106 yesterday in the shade. Yeah, Northern California. Okay, weird stuff. And then, a couple days before that, he was complaining that it was, in 50s. Anyway, crazy stuff. Even here, there's crazy stuff going on even here in New England. And, we talk about, just if you don't like the weather in New England, just wait a minute. I don't know how true that is, but it does change. All right, so what else we got? I don't know why I have to click things twice right now. I don't know. What is going on here? It disappeared. It literally disappeared. All right, let's do this. In Windows 10. See, now I'm clicking things and nothing's happening. It is frozen. It is really laboring to move on, and I don't get why. Unless we're being hit by some kind of corona mass ejection that I don't know about. Wow. Yeah, bear with me because this is just crazy. All right, well, I have to go back to, man, come on. Oh, I know where I gotta go. I gotta go to feed bro. So I don't know what's going on, people, but just all of a sudden, I don't know what I said that warrant this, but it just got really, really slow, and it's pretty unusual. Everything's plugged in, everything's going good. I don't get it. And now I am just waiting on FeedBro. It's already opened. I don't know what's going on. All right, let's get back to strange sounds now that finally opened. Wow. Yeah, I don't know, folks. All right, well, it'll probably move on me now because I opened up another program. But this is the one I wanted to get. The U.S. shakes and rumbles, 4.2 earthquake and aftershocks damage Kansas, 5.4 earthquake off of Oregon. Problems. Yeah, computer screen went blank on the live feed. I don't know, folks. I'm going to stop working. Isn't that great? Right in the middle of broadcast. Very good. Thank you very much. I don't know. I'm going to go back to Mixler page. You guys hear me talking at all? Maybe it's just the microphone for the screencast program. So I don't know if you can hear me or not. Do not know. I don't know. There's some kind of surge here, man. Both computers have just slowed to a crawl. Obviously, it's Cox cable. So I don't know, people. I don't see the microphone working on Mixler either. You do hear me on Mixler and YouTube. Okay, but on Mixler, I do not have the, the control panel moving up and down to me talking. So, oh man. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But music is on Mixler again. Yeah. I apologize for that. I did it again. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that now. I mean, it doesn't affect the programming, video for YouTube or the video for that I put out there on my website. But obviously, it'll drive you guys crazy listening to it because yeah, it is on in Mixler. All right, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what my problem is. I'm just getting old, I guess. Use that as an excuse. It seems like everything calmed down, but I don't know. Let's do this. Let's put out our Fair Use Act, and then I'm going to get rid of a couple things. All right. I don't know, so I probably do not have. We'll worry about that later. If it records on YouTube, that's okay. If it records on Mixler, one night that I'm going to need it, YouTube to work properly, it probably will not. Anyway, so let's get back to the news, if I can. I just told you about the earthquakes that somehow that tab I usually just tap once to open it, but it disappeared. So that those are, I don't know, I guess those are pretty rare earthquakes in Montana and Kansas. Oregon coast, I mean, they've been having a couple. They're still worried about the big one there, so all right, let's find out where we are. All right, let's get back to, yeah. All right, so we're going to go to the watchers and just hopefully y'all can hear me now. The music's off, everything's good. So extreme monsoon rains in western India and Myanmar. More than 250 people killed. I mean, I know there are a lot of people in India, but still, it's a lot of darn people, man. Let's pray for the people of India in these really crazy monsoon seasons, causing dramatic flooding and landslides. Still, and here severe floods leave at least 50 dead, thousands of homes destroyed in the Sudan. I mean, this is starting to come up again. I mean, we actually got away from that for a couple of weeks, a few days out of the week, but there's always flooding going on somewhere now. Just over the past day, flooding has affected 25 localities in the 16 Sudan, 18 states. Catastrophic health conditions are expected if authorities are not to intervene. Yeah, and you know that, right? And when you have a flood, that everything mixes in that water. All the sewage, everything else, you got oil, gas, other things just hanging around. It's all going to mix in that water. That's how, people get sick and die. I mean, that's probably, if it's being orchestrated, if it's being geoengineered on purpose, that would be its purpose, to get people sick from malaria, other things that are, mosquito, waterborne type things. So Is YouTube working still? I'll just go check it. Yeah, I got volume over there too. Okay, so everything's all set. I'll just keep going. Sorry. Just gotta check my screencast later. Japan. Yeah, the typhoons and now they're, I don't have the art. Apparently there are systems being increasing, cyclonic or typhoon type formations. I mean, I think, what is this, the second or third typhoon that Japan and those areas over there that have been hit? I mean, China last year nailed multiple times. Many, many people dead last year. That's when we were watching 2 and 3, well, typhoons, I guess you call them, in the Pacific, heading over there. 2, 3 at a time, and then when they were gone, 2, 3 at a time, go again. That was the year last year when these hurricanes from the Atlantic would come down off the east coast of Florida and just sit there. You remember that? 0 miles per hour. I saw at least one of them, and there were 2 of them that went down there off the coast of East Florida and just spun around. One of them I definitely know because I, hovered over it. 0 miles per hour. I have never, ever seen that in my 60 years on this planet. Maybe it's happened before. I'm sure it has. I don't know. Storm like that, just stopping and spinning. Kind of tough to get something to stop the way it's spinning like that. And hey, maybe somebody's got it, where they can manipulate these things pretty darn good. So Japan, okay, on Thursday, the 15th, yesterday, hit with a biblical, everything's biblical now. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, it's not like somebody else that I remember saying the past 5 years, probably 6 years. Everything is biblical. Everything is apocalyptic. Apocalyptic this, catastrophic, biblical proportions. I have to say, well, where is he now? Because there's a lot of it's going on now. These floods that we've been having this year, I would have to say are biblical proportions. It's a biblical reminder of what we went through. I do sincerely believe that this is a warning from God. Warning us, look, I've destroyed the earth before with a flood. Look at the floods. Look at what can be done. Remember and repent. Right? That's what I sincerely believe. And a lot of people are questioning a lot of things now. Hopefully, getting the right answers. Total rainfall could surpass 47 inches. 47 inches in 24 hours, which is more than 10 times their August average. I'm sorry, but that sounds pretty biblical to me. 10 times. All right? 70 times 7. Well, you know what I mean. So I hope that people are asking questions. I hope that they're finally waking up. They will when their little comfort zone comes crashing down, right? It's going to take that for many. It will take that. And hopefully, the Lord will put somebody in their path to point them in the right direction and say, here, Jesus Christ is the answer. Yeah, so this is from the Western Journal, U.S. News. Little known treaty. We've heard about this a few months back. Little known treaty lets Russian military jets take off in America. Collect recon data on U.S. cities. And I'm sure that's what they're doing. I mean, why would you let a Russian military jet? I mean, we're still turning them away in Alaska. They're bombers. They're nuclear, filled bombers. But we're going to let them fly down through. Well, here's this other story. Here's the story today. This is from Daily Mail. Okay? But this is the Daily Mail, remember? It's from UK, so you may be getting this before it actually happens or while it's happened. But anyway, Russian spy plane is spotted over the Midwest on a surveillance mission of strategic defense assets in Hawaii. This was on the 14th. It landed in Hawaii ahead of the flyover of U.S. defense assets. Okay, so this Russian Tupolev Tu-154M had departed Moscow for the United States via Iceland on August 11th. Anyways, it came through Chicago, Illinois. Okay, flew through there, no problem, because of this little known treaty. And I knew about a few months back, maybe a year ago, that and we've actually seen Russian aircraft fly across California and other, pretty important areas down there in Southern California. What's going on with that, right? I think we need to pray about, discernment for that. So this Russian reconnaissance aircraft will fly over, already did. United States this week, as part of the Treaty on Open Skies, entered into its early 1990s. So since the 1990s, I mean, you're talking 29 years ago, man. Didn't know. I thought they just came up with it. But actually, this is a 29-year-old treaty, really. So the flight will be conducted with Russia's treaty-certified Tu-154 aircraft equipped with electro-optical cameras. The Russian news agency TASS reported the flights were conducted from August 11th to the 19th. Oh, and you know what's happening? It's not recorded on screencasting. But anyway, let me get rid of that. Really annoying. Yeah, it won't. Anyways, it's putting that little X right in the middle of the darn screen, and I don't know why I'm having a hard time focusing in. Wow, why? There you go. All right, sorry everyone. For some reason, it's just blurry over my PC. I don't know why. Should have plenty of data left. Anyways, let's see. Russian. I'm trying to figure out what the treaty is. Did it mention what the treaty was called? Just Open Skies Treaty. Open Skies. So I don't know why they're telling us now. I mean, they've had it since the 1990s, according to this article. And now they're telling us about it. And they've actually, flown that other Russian aircraft across California and into the desert quite a few months back. And whatever. Why are they telling us about it now? In case we see, Russian aircraft flying in formation over our skies. Okay, so we're all supposed to think back. Okay, yeah, there's a treaty, open sky treaty. So don't worry about the Russian bombers over your head. Talk about really trying to confuse you, right? I'm sorry, man. We all understand that, the powers that we're in a spiritual war. Okay, the powers that be, principalities. Yeah, they're all together in this. Whoa. My screencast-o-matic just started by itself. That was a big delay, man. I hit that like 2 minutes ago. Anyway, so what are they doing, right? for whatever reason, they're making it seem okay for Russian. I don't know. Maybe it's other countries too. It's got to be. It's an open sky treaty. So why not China? Why not Korea come fly over our skies? Why is people not in an uproar over that one? Understand what I'm saying? A lot of things are going on here, and people are just not in an uproar over it. They're just, it's like they can see it, their mouth drops and it's open, but it doesn't say anything. I believe it, mostly because of the drugs, that they're spraying in the sky, which I've noticed they're spraying a little less, and the chemicals in your water and the GMO that you have to buy. Genetically modified organisms, they're, food. Yeah, they're going to use your body and kill it. Well, that's what the devil wants. If it was up to him, every human being would be dead. Yep. He doesn't like us at all. Anyway, let's try to continue. Go on. Man facing sexual abuse charges, killed by smart train north of Ron-Nert Park. This is from the Press Democrat. I believe this maybe even further north than North California. So anyway, a southbound smart train rolls through the scenic avenue crossing north of Ronert Park, where a man was lying on the tracks, was struck and killed. Now, this was a little over a month ago. Somebody told me about it. I didn't believe it, so I told them to prove it. And well, here's part of the proof. Okay, and there's actually, what do they call that? CCTV video of him actually lying on the track, taken from the train. But I have not looked into that any further. Obviously committing suicide. He was 68 years old, and being accused of sexually and physically abusing disabled children and adults at his home care. You really got to know the people that you're leaving your children off to. There's just so much that is wrong with the way our children are being cared for. And it's not only our problems, our fault, it's the government's fault for intervening and making it harder for you to not be involved. It's just the way it's been since my children were smaller. My youngest was probably, I don't know, 14 or so when they started changing laws here in Connecticut about taking children out of your home if they're being called there for some kind of domestic dispute or noise or anything. No matter what it is. Somebody called in, there's a lot of noise, yelling and screaming going on in that house across the street, kind of like the red flag laws today with the guns, Yeah, so the cops go there and they have to arrest somebody. By law, they have to arrest somebody. And it's usually the man, unless there's obvious direction, to the woman or the wife or whatever. Yeah, well, I was, still researching suicides, and it's just so much to talk about with that. And about this fast train that I thought was, thought they got rid of, but they didn't get rid of it in, the northern west coast there, but they did stop it in California. The reason, some people think that all those fires started so that they can clear all that out of people. All right, so we're running down to time. Let me go a little quicker. Israel reverses course, allows Tlaib to visit grandmother. I don't know how you pronounce her name. I really don't care. And Tlaib says, no, it will kill a piece of me. So whatever the drama that's going on with there. I know that Trump had mentioned to Israel to stop these two Muslim women who are always saying something against Israel or Jewish people. And I agree with Israel's decision to stop them from coming in. I don't even want them in our government. How they were, obviously they were elected by the majority of the people living in that area. Yeah, all Muslims are going to, obviously vote in a Muslim. But I don't know, man. I don't get it. I mean, obviously the Lord has given them a delusion. The Muslim faith, religion, Islam. I guess I've read the parts of the Quran. I've had other people, dissect the Quran. It is just a lot of things in there that are really not of God. I mean, if God is love, then the Quran is totally opposite. And obviously, the devil tries to copy everything the Lord does and make it the opposite. Actually, good versus evil, and evil is good, and all that stuff. So, anyways, yeah, that was in the news. So apparently, she was given permission to go visit her grandmother, but I really don't care whether she does or not. Thunderstorm unleashes 18 inches of hail. We've already seen that in Michigan. Now the end begins. Teen Vogue attempting to turn teenage girls against their parents by posting to Snapchat and instructing them to seek out secret abortions. It's not just that. It's not just Teen Vogue. It's not just Snapchat. This is the problem with the kids. They're taking our kids and behind our backs are telling these girls, boys, young children, period, things that they can do and they don't have to tell their parents. I mean, teaching these kids some things that we wouldn't, even me, I wouldn't want to know, let alone do at 10 years old. Heck, at 10 years old, I mean, I like girls a little bit, but I didn't understand anything about them. Of course not. I just thought that, I guess the hormones started going about then. I don't know, but I was interested in them, but didn't know exactly what to do. Whatever. So, but these kids are being taught at 4 years old to do certain things. It's just vile, man. It's just so dark. It's not stopping. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any let up. And I just, think you've heard my opinion on it that within this next generation, I'd say within the next 20 years or less, if this is led to go on, I mean, we're already working our way towards Sodom and Gomorrah type civilization. One of the other things that Sodom and Gomorrah did each year, they used to, married couples or just couples together used to go to some field somewhere and swap husbands and wives for the day. Once a year. I believe I read it in probably with Jasher, because Jasher tells you more about the personal relationships in more detail, where Enoch tells you more other things like angels and more spiritual. Anyway, you know what I mean. Well, yeah, this is nothing new. I mean, they're trying to get to the children. There was some guy, I don't know what the exact quote is, but, he says, give me your children, and I care not what the future holds. He'll have the children because that is the future. They are the future. Yeah, a lot of stuff like that going on. So here we go. This is the report on, almost done, maybe, on the food crops. This is from End of the American Dream, according to the federal government, though. Okay, this is according to the federal government, so this could be just hype, propaganda, who knows? I don't think it's as bad as they say it is. I've had people report to me on the conditions throughout the country. I have a brother who goes coast to coast, and he's just spotted some things different than what they're talking about. But anyways, there are farmers who are talking about losses, and there will be losses. But is it that bad? Well, according to the federal government, okay, 19 million acres of farmland were not planted with the crops this year. Now, what that means to me doesn't mean that darn thing. 19 million acres, yes, sounds like a huge number. But what's the normal number? What's the normal number of farmland that doesn't get planted or doesn't, grow or is not harvested? What's the acreage there? I don't know. I didn't read the article. Would they tell you that? I don't think they would tell you that. So, where can I bring you to tell you that they give you percentages? According to U.S. Department of Agriculture, crops are not planted. That was the headline. Agricultural producers reported that they were not able to plant crops on more than, according to a new report released by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, this marks the most prevented plant acres reported since USDA's Farm Service Agency began releasing the report in 2007, and 17.49 million acres more than reported at this time last year. Okay, 17. They got 19 up there, so let's go 17 and a half million acres more than last year. So last year it was 2 million acres. Okay, if they got it at 19. But anyway, this marks the most prevented plant acres. Now, see, I don't get that. Prevented, which means that what? Did they prevent it from growing? Because remember, the government has gone to the farmers before and told them what not to grow or what to grow and the amounts of. Because of markets, because of money and all that other stuff. This is well known. So I'm just letting you know that obviously these things are out there. Yes, there were flooding in the Midwest, okay? And yes, some of the crop yields will be smaller. I mean, they were still able to plant some of their crops. And they're just making it out to be much worse, in my opinion. In my discernment so far, they're just making it out to be much more than actually is. For their own, obviously, agendas, whatever they may be. And you know some of them. You should know some of them. So 73% of them were in the 12 Midwestern states where heavy rainfall and flooding this year has prevented many producers from planting mostly corn, soybeans, and wheat. So, whatever that's worth, people, just remember that the prices are going to go up, okay, like they do every up. Get, their percentage of the prices of this food. If they have control over the food, that's money in their pocket. So if they take over this farm, for whatever reason, non-payment, can't pay because the crops couldn't put out one year, and so the government takes over because they owe them money. That's called illegal foreclosure. Preventable. That's what the government's been doing. That's what they do. Big land grabbers. I mean, heck, that's what they were before, people started coming to this country. Irish, over there, big thing, big landowners. I mean, you must have seen, okay, Mel Gibson's, what is that, The Patriot. Remember that? There was a scene in there where the red coat, the bigwig, the guy that was in charge of the um, whole army that was against the Patriots, was up there talking to another general or another officer, and they were talking about, well, we don't care if we win or lose, something like that. At the end of the war, it's going to be landowners. And then one of the officers says, well, yeah, if he does what the other guy above him wants him to do, which was kill a lot of people. And anyways, his price was Ohio. Yeah, he wanted the whole state of Ohio. So anyways, it's always been about the land, about the money. It's always the money. And anyways, so they try, we keep complaining. We can't more. I mean, we really can't. I mean, not unless we're going to be, communistic and just go to work like robots and then come back home too tired to complain or to do anything else. And we have our little boxes we live in the middle of the country, stacked, multi layers high, in that condensed version where they all want us. Seems like they all want us somewhere, so they can build their mega cities so everyone can live there, so they can keep them all under control, know where they are at all times. It's always been about the land, the money, and of course, being godless. And so this weekend, I believe it is, Portland braces for trouble ahead of opposing rallies. Yeah, Antifa is going to be there. And I don't really know if there's any name for the people that oppose them, just people who don't like. I mean, Antifa has been the discussion of a few congressmen that they should be labeled a terrorist group. I mean, heck, they dress all in black and they cover their faces. There's a law out there somewhere that says they can't cover their faces, which is another reason why if you bring the Muslims here, the women who wear this hijab or whatever you call it, it's covering their faces. It's not allowed. Somewhere along the line, it's not allowed, and I forget where it was, but I read it. And it may be just about protests. I'm not sure. I mean, we're supposed to have peaceful protests, and that's it. Once it becomes unpeaceful, then they can take you away. And one of the rules is you can't cover your face. Anyways, I mean, why this group is still allowed to go anywhere with their faces covered, and I've seen some of the things they do. There's videos out there, beating an old man up, chasing him down while he was driving his car, throwing things at it. I mean, this is what they do all the time. They brutalize. They're just all about hate. Whatever happened? I mean, didn't they make a hate crime law? Pretty sure they did. I think someone actually was arrested for that one time. I think some, people may have even been arrested for at least given to the authorities on Facebook, that's a hate crime. He was arrested for a hate crime for what he posted. So there is no more free speech, at least not as long as you're on Facebook and other social medias. But anyway, where is it taking place? Portland, Oregon. Anyways, they're mobilizing in preparation for Saturday when the far-right protesters are expected to come face-to-face with local anti-fascist counter-demonstrators. Anti-fascist. Yeah, I gotta go look that up. I know Hitler, I guess, was a fascist, but anyway, there's a lot of things that are going on in Oregon. I hear about news from there and very weird stuff, very strange stuff. And then you got, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if the ground opening up there on the West Coast, leaking some gas out, and it's just all flippy. I don't know if that's a word. Anyway, so that's going on this weekend there. And let's see if these other ones will load. That one doesn't seem like it is. Anyways. Oh, yeah, this one. Donald Trump wants to buy Greenland. All I know is that it's, in the north. It's in the north, and I think we should buy it. We bought Alaska in '59, same year I was born. Biggest mistake the Russians ever did. But we own Alaska. And I think we should go and get Greenland too, because it's up there in the north too. And there's a lot of things going on in the north with the Russians and China and trying to make passable routes up there. I mean, Russia has a floating nuclear platform out there doing something. I don't know exactly what to do. They got a nuclear reactor floating on top of this ice, these waters, very turbulent. Yeah, so this one was about, why did it tell me? Oh, that was the other one. Yeah, this was the tweet that Donald Trump put out. Would Chris Cumio be given a red flag for his recent rant? I would think so, right? He threatened to throw somebody down the stairs and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. Heard his rant. Now, if he owns a gun, somebody could have called and he could have got that gun taken away. That's part of this red flag stuff. Uh-oh, red flag. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Anyway. Yeah, so he shouldn't be allowed to have any heavy weapon. He's nuts. Yeah, that was in the news for a couple of days. Just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And here's the one about Iceland, I just mentioned. So why not? I mean, stop some of these other programs, especially these, black op or whatever they call it, it's just black, that they're not going to tell you about. Even take the ones they are going to tell you about, okay, like studying the monarch or butterfly in the Amazon forest, stuff like that, that's just a cover for other stuff. Take that money that you've already gotten from us and go buy Greenland. Go buy it. Is there still a volcano there that's erupting? Remember that? I think it was a couple of years ago. It erupted so high that they had to change flight patterns for commercial airliners because of the ash. It just does not work well with jet engines. That's what they say. So that's up there too. That he's could be doing if he's reelected. Yeah. So anyway, this is from Activist Posts. Let's see, I got two more posts here. This one from Activist. Child testifies about Wi-Fi at her school, giving her microwave. This thing stopped moving. Microwave sickness, a medically recognized illness. So this Wi-Fi, and I don't know why I still have it in here. It's just really stupid. Maybe I'm drugged up too much to realize, or maybe I just think that the Lord's going to protect me no matter how stupid I am. If you have a way, and I'm right next to the modem or router, both, I could just hardwire them. Why leak? Okay. Schools should provide wired internet, not Wi-Fi. Well, I agree, man. Okay, everything's froze up for a second. All right. Mozilla Firefox. Okay, I don't know what it is. It's probably because I didn't get to the update from yesterday. So every time I don't get an update and update, they do stuff like this on purpose. Yeah, it's not anything else. Yeah, this, I don't know, stopped at 43 minutes. I don't know what's up with that. That's not going to be any good. All right, so yeah, I mean, this Wi-Fi, especially with this 5G coming out, and they got it in the UK, and you'll find out things happen over there. A lot of things, beast of the field, birds, all these other things are just falling out of trees and dying. Trump requests permanent. Oh, this is another one that's in the very beginning. But this is the article anyway. Yeah. So there's going to be things that, he's not a perfect president by no means. Anybody in that position, politics, get tempted all the time. But in any case, so that's what he's been asking to get reestablished permanently. Keep spying on you. Oh, come on. All right. Well, I might just end it right here. We're already over anyway. Wanted to warn you about an asteroid that's supposedly coming this week sometime, and another one that's supposed to be coming that could be dangerous within the year. Of course, and then all the other ones. Obviously, go look at articles for that, because there's a lot of them we don't even know until they pass by us. So my program is frozen. I just started. Prescription infant formulas found to be contaminated with aluminum. This is from Natural Blaze. I don't know if I can go down and tell you about the story, but I'll leave the link. If you're getting a prescription to feed your infant, man, from who though? Why is this? Oh, Lordy, Lord, I got to stop playing around. Multiple brands of prescription infant formula, okay? Multiple brands were found to contain high levels of aluminum. Trying to find out if there's any names. Go to naturalblaze.com. I'll leave the link. I'm going to have to shut this down and take the load off. I don't know what the problem is, but it's still affecting me. Don't know if this video is going to get out, but we will try. We will try. I'm not going to be able to get it out in the backup. The backup is already, 43 minutes of it. There's something there, but if this YouTube one works, which I hope it does, it's the only one that I got right now that has the full video. And then the audio on Mixler. Of course, you're going to hear the music for the first, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. All right, everyone. Be safe, man. Be vigilant. Keep looking to the skies. I mean, who's that? Dabu 7. Just keep your family close. Know where they are all the times. Anything could happen. Yes, definitely keep looking to the skies. I look there constantly, waiting for his return. God bless you all. Have a great Sabbath. I'll try and get out there over the weekend. I know I have a lot of work to do, but we'll see. Summer's getting almost over, and I'll be in the house more. God bless everyone. Peace out. If I can even shut it down, huh?